It's noon here in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And this is CarEdge Live for Tuesday, February 21st, with your host, both wearing collared shirts today. Apparently, there was an unwritten memo. Me, Ray, and well, that good-looking young man, my handsome son, Zach. How are you today, young man?
I'm doing fantastic, Dad. Super excited to talk about the latest news from Consumer Reports. They've got some shocking data that we're going to spend some time on in here in just a moment. Before we do have a sponsor for today's show, our friends over at Lease End. We're going to be talking about them in about 5 to 10 minutes. If you're unfamiliar with Lease End, click the link in the description down below. And before we move on any further, CarEdge.com, my dad and I, in year 5, going on year 6, working on and building CarEdge.com, doing our best to support our car buying community to make smart decisions. Check it out, CarEdge.com. We got a new navigation, baby. New navigation. I like what the team did over here. This is looking really nice. So anyway, check it all out, folks, CarEdge.com. Dad, let's jump right into it. Consumer Reports came out with their top 10 vehicle picks. Okay. All right, Dad. Stop, Dad. Consumer Reports came out with their top 10 vehicle picks for 2024 and, for 2025. And, Dad, we've got a lot of vehicles on here that make me scratch my head, scratch my fists, read between the tea leaves, whatever you want to say, man. Let's break this down. The number one small car. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Number one small car for 2025.
Yeah.
Is the Nissan Sentra.
Yeah, and that makes you scratch your head. Why?
Because it's a Nissan Sentra. Whoever's woken up and said, all right, the best possible car, even in that category, is a Nissan Sentra.
Well, what they like about it is the fact that it is very reasonably priced at $21,590 to $24,590, and it is very well equipped for what it is at that price point. So that was why it made now. Now, would that make our list? Would we be sitting here as an organization suggesting to anybody that perhaps what you want to do is get a Nissan because they could be out of business in a not too distant future?
So as we go through this, let's put in what we think would be ours for in this case, the small car category. Dad, are you going Nissan Sentra for your small car category winner for 2025?
No, I think I probably would have. I believe Mazda still makes the Mazda 3.
They do,
which is a very nicely equipped car, and I think there's a much stronger likelihood that 5 years from now, Mazda will still have a dealership network in this country, and Nissan might not.
So you're going Mazda 3. I think I'm going Civic, man. I think I'm going Civic. Okay. I saw Civic here in the chat from Joe.
Okay.
I'm going Civic. I'm going Civic. You're going Mazda 3. This was the first one that baffled us, was the Nissan Sentra for small car. Then for subcompact crossover, the Subaru Crosstrek. This one resonates with me. I think for a subcompact crossover, going the Subaru route makes tons of sense.
And it resonates with me. And one of the reasons that they liked it is that it is an all-wheel drive car or vehicle with higher ground clearance, easy to get into and out of, which appeals to an old fart like me, which is why it's on my consideration list. Still gets a good gas mileage, reasonably good gas mileage, and you can get them rather nicely equipped. So, yeah, I think if you're looking for a smaller subcompact crossover, I think the Crosstrek is an excellent choice.
We've got some good comments from the community. Lou saying, but the Honda Civic is about $10,000 more than the Sentra, and I think that's super, super fair. The Nissan is, what is it really competing with? Maybe the Mitsubishi Mirage? Maybe?
Well, the Mirage will be a Mirage.
Yeah, it's getting discontinued.
Yeah.
So yeah, there really aren't a lot of competitive price point ones for the small cars. For obviously the subcompacts, there are plenty more. I mean, the Trax could have fit in there. There's tons of vehicles in the subcompact space. It's actually really, really, really competitive. But Subaru resonates with both of us. Mid-size car, Toyota Camry. I don't think you're going to find anyone that's really going to fight that one, would you?
Perhaps maybe a Honda Accord.
Yeah.
There are other mid-sized cars out there, but obviously the Toyotas have a great reputation. There have been some issues over the past couple of years with some of the Toyota models, but as a whole, uh, Toyota has a tremendous reputation and has for a number of years. It's number one selling vehicles in the world. Great resale value, relatively inexpensive to maintain,
Yep.
and for the most part bulletproof. So I mean, how could you possibly say that might not be the right choice?
Yep, not shocked by that one at all. The compact crossover goes to the Subaru Forester. So obviously Consumer Reports loving the Subaru lineup with both the Crosstrek for the subcompact crossover and then the Forester for the compact crossover. Tons of competition in this space. This might be the busiest category in the industry right now because the price points for those types of vehicles are anywhere from high 20s, low 30s. Obviously fully equipped can get into the 40s and higher, but like that is where you've got everyone competing right now on the compact crossovers.
You have so much competition in that space. You have the Mazda CX-30 and the CX-5.
Yep.
You have the Honda CR-V. You
Yep.
have Toyota. What is the RAV4?
Yep.
Or maybe they have another one that's even small. I don't know. You've got the HR. There's just you've got competition from Kia and Hyundai. I mean, there is just that seems to be a sweet spot in the market of SUVs especially for people who no longer feel as if they can afford those really large SUVs, so that they are, thinking to themselves, I'll move down in size just a little bit and still be able to get a nice vehicle. And, and the Forester has had, it's been around forever.
Forever.
And it's, it has a really good reputation. It is Subarus by nature tend to stick around a really long time, and their customer base is fanatical, to say the least.
Now, Dad, this next one for me was a bit of a head scratcher, but you know what? Maybe I'm in the minority here. For the small pickup category, it was the Ford
Yeah.
Maverick and the Maverick Hybrid. The only reason I say it's a little bit of a head scratcher is because I actually think the GMC Canyon, at least what I've seen, what I've read, what I've heard, the Canyon's more expensive. So I guess that factored into this. But the Maverick, was for a long time selling with additional dealer markups and over MSRP. But the small pickup winner was the Ford Maverick. It's a little tricky for me to get excited about a Ford product on this list. Best of anything, we've got another Ford recall actually that we'll be talking about today as well. So, Ford on this list is just a little bit of a head scratcher for me. Ford and Nissan are the head scratchers thus far.
When it comes to small pickups, there's not really a whole lot of choice out there anymore. There used to be at one time, but today there really isn't as much of a choice of different opportunities out there. So perhaps because the Maverick is relatively inexpensive in comparison to its peers, that would be the rationale for Consumer Reports.
Another one in that category would be the Nissan Frontier, but that would be putting another Nissan on the list, which I'm not sure if we're going in that direction. I don't think Hyundai is going to win any awards with the Santa Cruz. They just don't sell that many of them. Maybe the Chevy Colorado is a small pickup truck. Could be. Let's take a break from our list, Dad, to talk about today's sponsor. We need to just take a moment and thank them from Lease End. Dad, here's the deal. When it comes to leasing a vehicle, it can be difficult and expensive to actually buy out your lease at the end of the lease term. Car dealers, you were one of those way back when, they profit by keeping you in a leasing cycle, and they make the buyout process confusing and time consuming, and unfortunately pack it with all sorts of unnecessary fees. These dealership pressure tactics also discourage buyouts, and they really make the process a pain in the butt. Lease End, the sponsor of today's show, helps you take control over your lease buyout. You can skip the dealership hassle. You can avoid the upsells, hidden fees, and long wait times, and you can keep your car's equity pops. If your car is worth more than the buyout price, that value, belongs to you and not the dealer. To get the best loan options, you can even work with Lease End through multiple banks to secure better rates than you would find on your own. You can take control of your lease today and save big. You can get started back at leaseend.com/CarEdge, or just click the link at the top of the description. Dad, only 12 minutes to get started. And you can buy out your lease entirely online. We appreciate Lease End. Thank you for sponsoring today's show.
I
Check it out,
only
folks.
I only wish I had some equity to keep from my lease, but unfortunately I do not.
From Lord Commander Manny, is Lease
Yeah.
End available in Florida? They are indeed. And if anyone has used Lease End, let us know in the chat. We would love to hear about your experience. All right, back to Consumer Reports list, Dad.
Yes.
We've got here the fuel-efficient crossover is the Toyota RAV4 PHEV. No complaints there. That makes plenty of sense. That thing has been flying off the shelves ever since it came out. Electric vehicle went to the Tesla Model Y. I think this is also another head scratcher. The electric vehicle space is so packed with competition now.
Well,
so packed. How could they go with the Tesla Model Y?
Well, why not? It's the most popular electric vehicle out there.
It's a good point.
It has its own charging network.
Yeah.
So there are benefits to Tesla. They have some of the finest software out there.
Absolutely.
Now, the build quality of their vehicles might not be up to par with some others, but the software, the charging network, the ability to get so many of the recalls done over the air.
Yeah.
So there are some reasons now. There are other reasons why you might want to reconsider because, well, they depreciate faster than a lot of electric vehicles out there, but there aren't any electric vehicles that aren't that don't depreciate rather quickly.
I was just a little surprised, not because there's so much competition now, because the market is so saturated with all the brands. I was just surprised to still see Tesla reigning on top there. That being said, Hyundai, I'm sure will try and vow for that position in the future.
In time,
Kia, I think, wants to have that in the future. Even Cadillac, Dad, I'm not surprised to not see Cadillac, but Cadillac's been the lease deals on a Cadillac Lyric, folks, are insane. Okay, so I'm just surprised that, because there's so much competition, to still see Tesla number one in Consumer Reports list. Midsize SUV goes to the Toyota Highlander Hybrid. There is a theme here, Dad.
Yeah.
We have only had one domestic on this list, if you exclude Tesla, from the legacy automakers, and that's Ford for small pickup. And that doesn't change as we complete this list. The midsize SUV is not going to a domestic as well. It's going to Toyota for the Highlander Hybrid. Another great, in my opinion, another great option from Consumer Reports here.
You'd be hard pressed to anytime you put a Toyota on the list for people to think, well, my goodness, you picked a bad car. And the Highlander's been popular forever. It seems like a relatively safe choice.
Absolutely.
For that type of in that category.
If you and I ever make a top list for anything, Dad, the safe choice is always put Toyotas and Lexus in it because they're bulletproof for the most part. We've had some recalls last year, specifically with the Tundras and with the GX. But that being said, they're in a good shape most of the time, and they hold their value really well, and they're not priced super crazy. Speaking of price super crazy, the luxury compact SUV, I would say the Lexus NX 350h and 450h Plus being anywhere from $40,000 to $62,000 for that category, considering the competition there, not priced astronomically. And so I'm not surprised to see Lexus here winning in the compact SUV space.
Luxury compact SUV space. It all depends on how much luxury you feel you need in your SUV. If you feel you actually want to use it as an SUV and you might actually want to take it off road and things like that, then that compact Subaru Forester starts to look like so much better a value than the corresponding Lexuses might. But if you and let's face it, in a lot of cases, luxury SUVs, the idea for the owner of off-roading in one of those is when you've pulled into your driveway. Okay? They're not taking them out into the wilderness. They're not going anywhere with them. So, for what it is, those are great vehicles. They are bulletproof. And they're finished off nicely. Lexus does a real nice job with their vehicles.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And I want to make sure everyone sees this back on the CarEdge.com website because I see Igor here in the chat saying Toyota Highlanders are 10 out of 10 rating. Just can't get a deal on one. Our team, folks, for our
Yes.
car buying service, caredge.com/concierge. Check it out right here. Car buying service right there on the CarEdge website. Please, if you're in the market, you want to buy one of these vehicles, it's a hell of a convenient service and obviously a great deal as well. Check it out, caredge.com/concierge to get some help getting into either that new Highlander or any of these vehicles that we're talking about on this list. Now, Dad, the last one here that we have from Consumer Reports would be the luxury midsize SUV right above our heads. The BMW X5 and X5 PHEV taken the win right there. I'm not surprised by that one at all. BMW has been executing way more effectively than Mercedes-Benz, although, maybe Genesis could have been in there with one of the G lineup, the GVs, or maybe Acura with MDX or Lexus with an even larger SUV, but not surprised.
I think what you have to realize when it comes to Acura is even Acura doesn't consider themselves a luxury vehicle. They consider themselves, they have positioned themselves as near luxury, as close to luxury without actually being luxury. They make a great vehicle. The MDX is a phenomenal vehicle, has been since it was first introduced. But BMW, I mean, they have proven over the course of time that the X5 is just the cat's meow, so to speak. It really is the full-size luxury SUV that people are after. And once again, it's an SUV that's if it ever drives across any type of dirt, it's because some sand blew onto the highway, not because they took it off road.
Super fair.
But they are a phenomenal vehicle. They ride beautifully. They're appointed nicely. The build quality is good. Wouldn't want to own one once the warranty is up. But they do a great job with that vehicle.
They absolutely do. Pops, let's come here to the chat. We've got to come back here to B-Man, E-Man. Appreciate the kind contribution. Are extended warranties needed with the current quality of vehicles? That's a great question. I will say the way that those contracts are priced are based off of actuaries who know that quality of vehicles are maybe not as high as they used to be, and the pricing for parts continues to go up. So it's just like any pseudo insurance product. They make sure they make money when they sell them. That's for doggone sure.
Well, and truth be told, you can get a real good idea as to what the future cost might be for any vehicle by going on to our website and pricing out extended warranties or vehicle service contracts for whatever vehicle you might be looking at. And you can tell from the cost as to how much they expect to have to pay out moving forward. If the cost is cheap, then and they know that there's not going to be a lot of repairs. If in many cases, like on a BMW, it's much, much higher, it's because they know once they're out of warranty, that stuff's timed to break.
Yeah.
And when it does, it's expensive. So, yeah.
One of the great resources that we have back on the website, that I'll pull it up. If you go to caredge.com, B-Man, E-Man, if you click on research up here at the top, choose a vehicle that you're interested in. So let's do, you said BMW, and we were talking about the X5, so let's do an X5. One of the great things once you land on this page is if you scroll down, obviously you get the value rating, but you can also click on warranty right here. Warranty is supposed to scroll you to warranty. Got a nice bug ticket to put in with the team. It'll share with you, obviously, the vehicle's warranty that comes with it. And it will also show you here, like, the warranty score, which is the lower your score, the more likely you are to use the warranty within the first 10 years of service. So, this particular vehicle gets a low score, meaning, you probably should get some sort of vehicle service contract for it. So really good. And you can see right there, an extended warranty is strongly recommended. It's a really good proxy for understanding.
Do a Mini Clubman, a 2023 Mini Clubman.
Dad, I don't know if I have 2023 Mini Clubman, but let's see. Mini Clubman. I got 2024 for you, Pops.
Okay, that's close enough.
Go down to warranty. Optional, but recommended.
Yeah.
Good information right there back on the CarEdge website. We've got from
Squab Bob.
Squab Bob, thank you. Does the CarEdge car buying service include a mechanic overview of the particular car? We have partners that we can refer you to for pre-purchase inspection. So no, but we will handle obviously the communications, and obviously with a convenience service like that, we do handle the communications and lining things up along those lines. But it's not part of the fee; it's a separate fee to get a pre-purchase inspection completed. Earlier in the show, Dad, from Larry, and thank you, Squab Bob, for your interest in our service. Hope we can help you. From earlier in the show, Dad, from Larry, my company has a Nissan Versa that I drive. The infotainment screen has an option for iPod. Yes, I said iPods. I think that's one of the things. You're getting a cheaper, more affordable vehicle, but it might be a little bit, how do we say it, dated.
Okay, I like that. I'm dated. Actually, you could probably carbon date me to get a real good idea as to how old I am.
Yeah. And we have Dad here from Mike Finn saying Nissan needs more love. They have some really good values for the money. Ray is always talking about affordability. I think Mike's right.
No,
they need an affordable vehicle. They're certainly there.
I just so people understand, I first got into the business in 1977. And in June of 1977, I started at a store called Admiral Datsun in Pleasantville, New Jersey, just outside of Atlantic City. The reason the store opened was because casino gaming had passed, and the first casinos were getting ready to open in Atlantic City. And so, the whole area was redeveloping because of that. And I was with what eventually turned into Nissan. I was with them for 12 years.
Wow. I didn't realize you were with them for that long.
Yes. I was there from June of 77, 2 weeks before we opened, to
sorry, that's just a long time ago, Dad.
Yeah. To July of
Wait a second, that's almost 50 years ago.
Yeah. Glad you're good with math. It's 48 years. And so I was there until July of 1989. And during that time, I mean, Datsun, we had some interesting vehicles. We had the 240Z and the 260 and the 280, and we had the 510 and the B210 and the Stanza. And I was waiting for him to come out with the Sitza. I mean, if you're going to have a Stanza, damn it, you might as well have a Sitza. But my point is that they made some really good cars. I remember when the first Pathfinder came out.
Yeah. Oh man, and now the Pathfinder is going to cost you $60,000. It's ridiculous.
It is. They just and I guess my point is I don't know what the hell happened to Nissan. They've gone through management changes and everything, but my goodness gracious, I mean they were the bottom third of the three major Japanese automotive brands at that time: Toyota, Honda, Nissan, and Nissan was a distant third.
Yeah,
but they made great vehicles. I mean, they made some really good, interesting, solid vehicles. And today, they seem to have just absolutely lost their way. They've had the problems with their CVT transmissions. They offer a lot of inexpensive entry level stuff. And I don't know what it is about their, but it just doesn't appeal in great numbers to the masses out there anymore.
Let's switch gears, Pops. Let's go to our favorite segment of the show.
Really? You have got to be kidding me.
Massive recall hits 240,000 Ford SUVs. This is a bad one, folks. Seatbelt bolts on a 2020 and 2021 Ford Explorer or 2020 and 2021 Lincoln Aviator may not be fixed in place. This is one that will, Ford will replace any defective bolts free of charge. There's a concern here, Dad, if you were getting an accident in one of these vehicles, your seatbelt might not work, might not do what it needs to do. And this takes us to our favorite segment of CarEdge Live. Do we have any guesses for who is leading the league in recalls right now in the auto industry?
Well, I'm going to guess, we're we're almost through 2 complete months.
Yes.
I'm going to guess it's Ford. I'm
Okay.
going to guess Ford was hurt that they let go of the number one position in 2024,
Yep.
and that they are destined and determined to find their rightful place at the top of the recall list in 2025. So I'm just guessing that they've probably had more recalls in 2025 than anybody. Now, here's the good thing for Ford. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration just cut their workforce by 4%. So they might not be able to come up with recalls as often as they need them moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever early lead Ford might have could be just enough to allow them to finish the year in first place.
How many recalls do you think Ford has had so far this year?
12.
You're not too far off. So Ford is leading the way.
Yeah.
They have 10 recalls so far this year.
Yeah.
Shocker in this stat is Toyota is in second place with 5 recalls so far this year. And then Chrysler, FCA, Stellantis has 5 recalls as well. Volkswagen has 4. And then we get into some smaller. General Motors has 4 as well. But yeah, Ford now recalling an additional 244,000 recently produced vehicles for another mechanical issue. It's a real bummer to see, Dad, more mechanical issues in these recalls. The software ones, it's easy. You just do it over there. But
and this one's not mechanical. It's just that the bolt might not be attached properly. The bolt that anchors the seatbelt. You know, the thing that makes a seatbelt work is the fact that, I don't know, it doesn't pull off from the frame of the car or whatever the hell it's attached to. But if it's going to pull off, it's not going to do its intended job.
No, exactly.
And that's where, thank goodness, the airbag could come into play, assuming, of course, they don't have any airbag issues.
Yeah, big assumption. All right, another one for you, Dad. Did you see this flying car?
Excuse me?
Have you not seen this video of a flying car?
No.
All right, give me a second here, folks. We're going to pull it up and we're going to get Pops' live reaction. You haven't seen this?
No.
You're not lying to me?
You know, no, I'm not lying to you.
All right, one second. Let me cue it up.
You know, I can honestly tell you, I haven't been on Jalopnik's website in, probably a year.
Look at this.
Okay. Look at this. What is that? That's animation.
No, it's not.
Oh, bullshit.
Dad, you can't curse like that.
Come on, man.
That's a flying car.
No, stop it.
Yeah, you drive it on the road and then you fly it.
You drive it on the road.
It's going to be slow incremental approach, which is good for
products, but it may be facing some challenges.
Boom. Come on. That's not you.
Wait a second. Why, if the damn thing flies, why would you drive it on the road?
Well, you have both options.
Okay, so what are you telling me? You drive it on the road, traffic backs up, you say, the hell with this, put it in flying mode, and you wave bye-bye to everybody that's stuck in traffic on the Beltway?
Yep.
Oh, okay, sure. And how much does a flying car cost? And then let's find out if I give a flying... Oh, no, wait.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know if they have pricing on. I'm not sure if they have pricing. Oh, here we go, Dad.
How far and how fast can it fly?
All right, here we go.
Yeah, inquiring minds want to know.
The drone rotors can lift a ton of weight, so passenger capacity can't lift a ton of weight. So passenger capacity is limited to just 250 pounds.
Oh, well, damn, I'm almost out. I could take a baby in the car with me. Okay.
3,000 pre-orders for the $300,000 electric drone with vaguely car-shaped bodywork. Can allegedly do 198 miles on a full battery.
That's great. That's great. There's something I don't ever want to get my hands on. And if that becomes the robo-taxi of choice, I'm definitely passing. Because you know what? I don't want to be up in the air when it's flying, when it goes, oh, by the way, we need to recharge. I mean, where's it going other than straight down when it runs out of electric? No, I think I'll pass.
All right, folks. If we can help you out with anything, again, CarEdge.com. You want to know dealer invoice price? Click right there. You want to access our car buying service and have us do all the hard work for you? Access it right there. Sell your car right there. If you need to research a vehicle, it's there for you. Search for new cars, used cars, all up there at the tippy top, and all sorts of great information over here in our navigation. If we can help you out with anything, guys, we have been so privileged over the past 5 years to build this company with all of you. Thank you for continuing to tune in and spend time with us. Thank you to Lease End. For those of you that are unfamiliar with Lease End, please click that link down below at the top of the description. The more people that use their service that we vouch for, the better off we are in terms of being able to keep them around as a financial sponsor for the channel, which we appreciate. And yeah, Dad, great show. Happy to spend time with you today. It's freaking beautiful out. I am so excited to go for a walk.
It's beautiful out, which means today's the day I get to spend 2 hours with Brandon talking from 1:30 to 3:30 about God knows what. But there'll be some things, I am sure. My guess is one of the things we're going to talk about is how tax return season could be affecting the used car business. So tune in at 1:30 on Car Sense to find out exactly what's going on.
Let's get these guys to 20,000 subscribers over there on CarSense. Go support that channel. Dad, enjoy the afternoon. Have fun with Brandon. I'm going to go walk and grab a quick bite to eat and enjoy my afternoon. I love you very much. You look handsome today.
Well,
let's do it again tomorrow.
You look handsome as well. And do me a favor and say hi to everybody you might pass in Washington, D.C., and let them know that your father, Ray, A, and the A stands for Alan, Shevska, says hello.
We do that for everyone. Yes, every single person. Can't wait. Gonna be a blast. Love you, Dad.
I'll talk to you later, Hans.